My sister spent her college fund on parties and trips. And now that I'm rich and her money is gone, she demands that I continue to pay for her lifestyle. But since I had received an 80% scholarship, I managed to save a good part of that money with which, many years later, I opened a company. After a few years, my sister also turned 18 and received the same amount of money with the same warning. But unlike me, she just disappeared. She made it clear that she would spend it all on trips. And my father didn't complain for a second, just said she could do whatever she wanted. But she should remember that when she came back, my sister would have to fend for herself because my father wouldn't help her with anything. I think my sister thought this money would last forever because she just left saying she didn't care. Well, this all happened a few years ago and nowadays my company is already medium-sized. I'm not a millionaire, but I definitely make enough money to live a peaceful life. My sister used to call from time to time, mainly to tease me, saying that I was silly for working when I could simply enjoy life with the money our father had given us. I didn't care about that because I was already seeing the fruits of my labor. And I knew that although I was having to work hard now, soon I could live peacefully in peace. Well, this year, finally, my sister's money ran out completely. For some reason, all this time she thought our father was bluffing, and that she would simply accept her back home after she had wasted all her money. Of course my father didn't accept it, and she simply saw that she had nowhere to go. I let her stay at my house for a few weeks, as she said it would be temporary. But that's until I realized that for some reason, money and some objects were disappearing. I asked her if she knew anything about it, and she openly said yes, and that it was her who was taking the objects and selling them to buy new makeup for herself. I asked if she was serious and she said of course she was, and that I shouldn't care, since I was rich anyway. Of course I kicked her out of the house at that moment and told my parents what had happened, and I thought it would end there, and she would simply be forced to find her own way in life. But no. Every single day she shows up at my door screaming and saying I'm unfair for doing this, that the least I could do was to support her, and that I was somehow humiliating her just because she went to have fun instead of working. I couldn't bear it anymore and called the police on her, which got her arrested. She has already been released, but now her behavior has gotten worse and she sends me messages all day, comes to my door, shouts at my neighbors, etc. I decided I won't tolerate this anymore. And if she shows up today, she'll be arrested for good. And I'll make sure she stays there. I don't care if she wanted to spend the money that could have changed her life on frivolous things. But if she thinks she's going to force me to support her lifestyle, she's very wrong. You can now check if there's a part 2 by pressing share and more.